Hi, everybody. Derek Pollacchi here, back for Coach's Clipboard number 9. And we're back with Sul-Ross head football coach John Pearce. Coach, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Probably a bigger smile on your face. We're talking about a win today.
That was good. It was good for us. Good weekend.
28-27 over Howard Payne on homecoming. And just a ridiculous ending.
Yeah.
Howard Payne scores. They have a 15-yard penalty, brings them back. Extra point, no good. And Sul-Ross holds on to the 28-27 homecoming win. Take us through the last few minutes of that game.
I mean, they got the ball. They put a drive together. They scored. I thought it should have been face mask. Their receiver stiff arms our corner. Stays on the face mask too long, in my opinion, but the guy breaks through, punches it in. They celebrate. Their whole team goes down to the end zone, which I understand, I guess. But they get the flag. They back them up, and it was wide left. So, and the rest is history. So, but, you know, it's hard to win in this conference, especially with the young group. You got to take them as you can get them.
So extra point, no good.
Yep.
What was your first reaction?
No, I was happy for our guys. You know, we played well enough to win. I thought we had some opportunities to stretch our lead. We didn't throw and catch well, so that kind of hurt us there, you know, and we just let them stay around, and you know they did what they were supposed to do to close the game and had a chance to tie it and send it to overtime. But you know, when they got the penalty, I felt pretty good that, you know, it wasn't a chip shot extra point. And you know, I had a timeout. My wife asked me after the game, she goes, "Why didn't you ice them?" I said, "Well, a lot of times in our level of football, we don't have pro kickers, so let them rush, get out there. Don't, you know, they're panicking, they're nervous, you know, they might be winded." And sure, it worked our way. You know, he missed it. So
when he misses that extra point, the game is not over right there.
No.
You've still got to play
No.
the end of that game. So when you've got that lead and you're going on onside kick,
right,
recover.
Yep. Well, the kicker, you know, he has a bonehead mistake for Howard Payne. He gets frustrated because he misses, yanks his helmet, throws it on the ground. So they get another 15-yard penalty, which backs them up. And then we get the onside kick. I think it went out of bounds, but and then we just iced it. So, but before that, you know, I want to say something about the game. I know you weren't covering it. It's been irking me with this win. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. You know, the drive before they scored to tie it up or had a chance to tie it up, we had 2 back-to-back personal fouls. Guys got ejected from the game. And I just want to apologize to our fans, to Alpine community, to the Sul-Ross community, to the Lobo Nation. That's not what we're about. Those guys are not playing this week. It's going to cost us because we're thin at the D-line, and both of those guys were 2 defensive line players. But they're not going with us to East Texas Baptist. I'm really embarrassed about that. I apologize to Dr. Kibler Sunday at our breakfast we had with our alumni, and that's something that we don't preach here. You know, we talk about doing things the right way all the time, on the field, off the field. I understand they're 17, 18, 19 years old, and you know, you get in the heat of the moment, but they need to act better than that. And so I was really disappointed over the weekend by their actions, but we move forward. You know, I'm not cutting them from the team. I did tell them, you know, if you do it again like that, that might be your last Lobo football game. You need to learn from it. You need to grow from it. And that's what we're about. We're educating young men, and that's what we're trying to move forward.
I was going to bring that up.
Okay.
How did you address it after the game?
Well, both those guys had to get escorted off the field once you get kicked out, and they left the locker room before we got finished up, and I had a chance. I texted them. I said, "Hey, guys, you're still Lobos. You made a stupid mistake. Grow from it and be better." And then we talked to them afterwards, you know, on Sunday and stuff to that nature. You know, now on the field, I probably wouldn't have a mic on it, you know, and I apologize to all our local fans. I kind of blew up and probably said some words I shouldn't have said. My mom wouldn't be proud of that, but that's okay. Sometimes you got to get a little chewing, and, you know, hopefully they learn from it. And those guys are good kids, you know, they are, but it was unfortunate.
Now, every time we've talked prior, it was before the season started or after a loss. Now we're talking after a win.
Right.
How did you address the guys after a win?
Well, like I said, it was homecoming, so I told them, hey, you know, enjoy it. Y'all deserve it. I'm happy for you guys. You know, you've been working your butts off to get into this situation. We've had a couple games where we played well, just couldn't finish it out. So I said, enjoy it. I said, don't do anything crazy tonight. You know, I don't want campus police calling me or any other police calling me, but enjoy homecoming win. But we're getting back to work at 11 o'clock on Sunday and film at 1:30 and practice at 4:15. And that's what we did.
Now, 2 Saturdays prior, you're coming off a loss, and you don't normally look at that in a good light.
Right.
But it was a game against a high-ranked Hardin-Simmons team, and it was close for a while. They won it at the end of the day. Now that you've had time to dissect that and dissect the win, how did that loss 2 weeks prior against Hardin-Simmons help prep you guys for this game?
Well, I think the attitude, knowing you can play. When you go back and watch our film against Howard Payne Sunday, defense didn't play as well as we did against Hardin-Simmons. We weren't wrong shouldering plays from our DN, didn't have the perfect fits, but I think our offense built off of it. The run game was really good. We threw and catch at times, but we missed some opportunities to really take a big lead, but that's part of it. So I think, we're growing. We're growing as a team. We're still young. That's not going to change, but they're stepping up.
Now, I wasn't there to cover the game, but I watched the highlights, some of the highlights.
Right.
And it seemed to me that the guys seemed more prepared, more confident. Baeza looked good in the pocket. Byron Jones over 100 yards receiving. Keandre Strong had that touchdown on the screen pass to the right side. Wilton Greer over 100 yards again. Is that a fair assessment to say that they were more confident in this game in themselves?
I hope so. I hope so. But, it's reps. It's just reps, getting confident in the system, knowing what we're doing, and trying to finish the play. And, even on defense, we had 3 interceptions, which is huge. One corner, Corey had 2 interceptions. Christian had another one. I mean, that's part of it. They're in their drops. They're doing what we do. Corey's second interception came right after those 2 personal fouls. And they could have gone up or tied the game right then. And we got a big interception in the end zone. Unfortunately, they still had another drive to get it in. But, it's just guys starting to step up, starting to believe in themselves and understand what it's about playing college football.
There was 4 different lead changes in the game. You guys were up, tied, down, a little bit of everything. What did it mean to you to see that your guys could overcome a deficit and at the end of the day hold a lead?
Oh, it's good. I mean, even when we had better teams the previous 2 years, we keep people in the stadium all the time. It seems like we can't just blow a game out or whatever. And, it's just good football. And I preach that all the time. I tell our recruits when they come here and everybody, this is one of the hardest conferences in Division III football. So you got to bring your A game. I don't care if you're playing a 0-6 Saul Ross team or 9 or 6-0 Mary Hardin Baylor. You got to bring your A game. All these teams are very competitive. They're well coached. It's hard. It's very hard to win a football game, and we keep working at it. And like I said, it was a good weekend for us.
A couple of things we highlighted last week. There were 2 things that stuck with me. Number 1 is win your homecoming game.
Yep.
So you got that.
Got that.
Number 2 was this is a second half to this season.
Right.
You got a young team. It's a second half to get guys reps, get some wins, feel good, go, and I guess the third one was don't lose the final game.
Right.
But the second one was the second half of the season and getting guys reps and making them better prepared as they grow for next season. So my question on that is for number 2, this being second half of the season, so far so good?
Yeah, we're 1-0. We're 1-0 in this. We got a goal board in our locker room with each game. I blacked out the first 6 games. And so we're 1-0 right now, and we're going to try to be 1-0 next week at this time. And it's going to be a tough challenge, especially going in with thin on the D-line. But some guys got to step up. And I told the younger guys, this is the guys that were behind those guys that are not playing this week, this is your time to take the position from them, and go ahead and earn it. You worked your butt off. Now it's your chance. Don't give it back to those guys. So that's their mentality. But we got a tough ETBU team, and their homecomings is our 3rd homecoming in a row.
Yeah.
So I guess when you graduate 23 seniors, you get on everybody's homecoming list. So which is good. I mean, it's good to have a crowd in the stands. So
let's talk about it. ETBU, they're 4-3.
Yep.
Coming off a 48-27 win against Louisiana College. Mm-hmm. Now, albeit a 1-win team in Howard Payne, you get the win. How does that prepare you to go up against a 4-win team?
I mean, they're good. Well, they're kind of like the stock market. They're up and down. ETB, you look at their scores, they did beat Louisiana College last week pretty sound. Then they played Hardin-Simmons a couple weeks ago, and they got rolled. So they've been up and down. Win the games I guess they should have. They're very talented. Their quarterback is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I think their running back's probably this top tier as well. They got a couple big receivers. So we got to have a big challenge in front of us, especially going in there undermanned in certain positions. But, we still got to play them, and get our guys ready. We had an okay practice yesterday, and I just got out of a staff meeting, told our coaches, we got to keep coaching effort and playing with effort this week, going back to the basics and building off of it, and building off the success we've had the last 2 weeks, and see what we can do out there. It's going to be a tough environment for us, though.
You highlighted a good quarterback at ETBU. Yep. What else do we know about the team?
Like I said, the running back, 28's very talented. He's patient on their run, but both of them, number one, their receiver, I forget his name, but coming in, he's got a lot of preseason recognition. But number 3's pretty good as well, and 13. So they're talented. They're not as tempo as they used to be, but they will go fast.
No triple option?
No triple option, but they do run a little bit of option. They do a little bit of option. Their quarterback has scored with his feet 7 times. So, it's going to be challenging. Coach Mapers, in his first year there, they got a brand new coach. It's the third coach in third year, or in 3 years. I faced him when I was at Blinn. He was at Navarro. He runs a solid program, and they're going to be tough even long-term in the conference because they're doing it the right way as well.
Would you say the option is the hardest scheme to plan for?
I mean, because you don't face it anymore. In Texas, everything's spread. You still get a little bit read zone, but they're not true option like Southwestern.
Right.
Couples, their offensive sets dictate when they're going to run it, so now we just got to be alert to that and have our dive quarterback-pitch relationship. But, that's not what they are. They're going to run power. They're going to run split zone. They're going to play action us, and that's what they do.
Safe to say after last week's win, we'll see Baeza center or in the shotgun most of it.
Yep. He'll be at quarterback. So we'll go from there.
Is an under center thing just something you don't see in college a lot anymore?
You're right. I mean, because everybody's doing it in high school. Sometimes the best player in high school was playing quarterback, but he's not a quarterback. He's a running back. So they're just snapping it to him and letting that player run the ball a lot. So I think that's why.
When we started practice this week, when you guys started practice this week, coming off a win, the guys come in. What was the feel? What was the rapport?
Well, Sunday was a lot better. Yesterday I didn't think we had the best practice. I don't know if the weather, we've been cloudy and rainy for the last 10 days. I think everybody's got those blues from the bad weather. I don't know. But sun's shining now, so hopefully today we'll have a little more up-tempo, spirited practice. And we need it. We need it before we get on that bus ride tomorrow night, and so we got our walkthrough tomorrow. Everybody thinks, or college football, you look at, maybe Alabama or Clemson, how they travel. But in D3 life, we're getting on the bus 11 o'clock tomorrow night. We're driving all night to Arlington. We're having breakfast at a Super Walmart. I got a guy catered in so the buses can park there. We have plenty of room at a Super Walmart.
Saturday game, you're leaving on a Thursday.
Oh, yeah, because of the distance. And then we're practicing thanks to Coach the high school, Martin High School, Arlington Martin. All the Arlington School District has an indoor and outdoor facility. Wow. So if it's raining, which is not supposed to, but we can practice indoors or out. And so we'll have our practice, Friday morning practice at Arlington Martin. Then we'll have our lunch on the bus, and then we'll drive to our hotel, check in, take a nap to about 6:30. Then we go to Golden Corral, and then we get up early and go play a game and get back on the bus. So we're pretty much gone for like 72 hours, but 48 of it's riding on a bus, it seems like.
And you handle all this itinerary yourself?
Oh, yeah. Set it up. We planned the rooms back in February, so we got the room set up. We get the food. I got a catering service. A guy comes to all our games, and he's very affordable. Works friendly with our budget. He'll meet us for breakfast. He'll meet us for lunch. He'll meet us for post-game. The Golden Corrals. I've eaten every Golden Corral from Maryland to Florida all the way to West Texas.
Sure.
And that's part of D3 life, though,
Now, you've worked in higher levels of the NCAA.
Yeah, I've been spoiled. And there's been times we're staying in, like, the JW Marriott.
Oh, sure.
And you come down on the 3rd floor, and they got a buffet for you. I've been in first class a few times, but I've been in coach a lot more.
I worked for a D1 hockey team for a year broadcasting, and same kind of bus and all that. But the hotels and the food menu is definitely a little better. But I've been down on the D3 level as well. But I mean, it's all fun, though.
Oh yeah,
right?
It's great. Hey, trust me, I couldn't be happier doing my job. There's days you're banging your head against the wall. But I picked a perfect career for me. Shoot, Sunday after our practice, I'm vacuuming our locker room. I'm cleaning our locker room up, because it was wet and those pellets from the turf field comes in, they were all over the place. So, not only I'm the head football coach, I'm the head janitor, I'm the head equipment manager. Good thing we got trainers now, so I don't have to be the head trainer. But that's the life of D3 football. I don't have a DFO, director of football operations. I planned our trips, where we're going to practice. I'm map questing, all right, from Alpine to Arlington, how long is that? Okay, 7.5, so by bus it's probably about 8 hours. Then I count back, when we got to leave Alpine. But that's the life of it. You do everything at this level.
And it's amazing sometimes that a lot of people don't realize. You think head coach, you think, all right, you got people under you, but that's not always the case.
Exactly. That's not the case. And that's why a lot of times when you have a Division I coach goes down to a lower level, whether it's from, you may take somebody from the Big 12 and they become the head coach at Sam Houston or Stephen F., they'll struggle because they're not used to having that support staff. You go to Alabama's staff meeting, Nick Saban has 35 support staff guys, not only coaches, support staff. It's huge. They're in a lecture hall, and when I first got here, you could just put a mirror up and the meeting would be me and myself, that's who I'm looking at. But now, I'm fortunate at this level, we got 4 full-time coaches. So now, and I got 2 GAs where, some of our smaller teams, they don't have any full-time coaches. So they're going through some of those early struggles that I've gone to. But, you got to plan it, be well prepared in advance, and adjust with it.
So the prep is there. You know where you're going. You know where you're eating. The big thing is practicing and getting ready for the football game.
Right.
It's a 4-3 team against a 1-6 team. The odds are certainly in ETBU's favor on paper, but how do you guys feel going in?
I'm happy, Last time we went there, we went up 30-0 at halftime. We had a lot of juniors that day, but it can happen again. Just play with effort. They're not. They're a good team. I'm not taking anything from them, but they're playing with Texas high school football players just like us. We just need guys to step up, play with effort, play with their technique, and let's see what happens.
So Russ, head football coach, professional planner,
that's it.
Washer, laundrette.
I can do it. Yep.
John Pearce, and top vacuumer. Thanks again, Coach.
All right. Thank you, sir.